Listen, let me tell you something. Sometimes the person you love the most is the very person draining the life out of you. And you don't even notice it, not because you're weak, but because you love them too hard to see the truth. A narcissistic partner doesn't always break you loud. Sometimes they break you slow, quiet, piece by piece. And before you know it, you're looking in the mirror wondering, what happened to me? Let me give it to you the way I know best, real, raw, and with love. One, they make you doubt your own reality. A narcissist will twist your words, flip the story, and then blame you for something they caused. You start questioning your memory, your feelings, even your sanity. Baby, that's called gaslighting, and it's the first sign they're breaking you. Let me tell you something, and I want you to hear me loud and clear. One of the most dangerous things a narcissistic partner can do to you is make you question your own reality. It doesn't happen all at once. No, it's sneaky, quiet, and almost invisible until one day you look back and realize you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You wake up wondering why your thoughts feel clouded, why you hesitate to speak, and why you doubt everything you once believed to be true about yourself. That's how it starts, little by little. And the worst part is, you think it's you. You start to believe the story they're telling you. A narcissist is a master manipulator. They are smooth, charming, and convincing, and they use that charm like a weapon. At first, it might seem harmless. Maybe they say something like, you're overreacting, or you're imagining things. Those words don't sound violent. They don't scream abuse. But inside, they're chipping away at your confidence and your sense of reality. Every time they make you doubt your own memory or your feelings, they are slowly taking control over your mind. You might catch yourself apologizing for feeling sad, angry, or hurt. You start questioning if your reaction is valid, if your emotions are wrong, or if maybe, just maybe, they're right. And that's the trap. That's the first step in breaking someone mentally. It gets even trickier because narcissists are unpredictable. They mix love and charm with manipulation. One minute they're apologizing and acting like nothing happened. The next minute they're dismissing your feelings like they never mattered. That inconsistency creates confusion. Your brain starts working overtime, trying to make sense of their behavior. You replay conversations over and over in your head, asking yourself, did I really say that? Did I really feel that way? When someone repeatedly makes you doubt your own reality, you start doubting your instincts, your perceptions, and even your judgment. And when that happens, they have power over you, power you didn't even realize they could hold. Sometimes it's subtle. It might be a comment disguised as concern, like, are you sure you're remembering this correctly? Or you're too sensitive? Those words sound innocent, but they are weapons. Every time you accept that doubt, it plants a seed. That seed grows into confusion, fear, and insecurity. You start to second guess yourself in every interaction, not just with them, but with everyone around you. Friends, family, co-workers, everyone seems to have an opinion that challenges what you once knew to be true. And here's the kicker. The narcissist thrives on this. They feed on the power that comes from making you unsure of yourself. They want you questioning, hesitant, and dependent on their version of reality. And let me tell you something else. The mental fatigue from this kind of manipulation is real. You walk around with your mind in overdrive, replaying everything, analyzing every word, every gesture, every look. Sleep becomes hard. Peace becomes rare. You feel like you're walking through life in a fog, constantly searching for a truth you used to take for granted. That's the silent damage, the part nobody sees but you. It's the mental and emotional erosion that leaves you drained and anxious. But here's the truth, and you need to hear this. Your reality is yours. Your feelings are valid. Your memories are real. You don't need anyone else to validate your mind. A narcissist may try to twist your reality, but that doesn't make their lies the truth. The moment you start trusting yourself again, you take back the control they tried to steal. You start seeing things clearly. You start believing in your instincts. And that's the first step toward breaking free from their grip and reclaiming your mind, your peace, and your life. 2, they drain your confidence little by little. A narcissist won't always attack you directly. Sometimes it's small comments like, "Why are you wearing that? No one else would want you. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you." They chip away at your self-esteem until you forget who you were before they came along. Let me tell you something real. One of the sneakiest weapons a narcissistic partner has is the ability to drain your confidence. And most people don't even notice it until they feel empty inside. It's not like they come out screaming insults at you all the time. No, that's too obvious. They do it quietly, subtly, in ways that make you think it's just a normal part of life. They chip away at your self-esteem little by little, day by day, until one morning you wake up and can't even remember what it felt like to feel proud of yourself. You don't even recognize the person in the mirror anymore. That's the damage they do, and it's slow, sneaky, and cruel. A narcissist thrives on control, and control comes easier when they make you doubt your worth. They'll criticize you in ways that feel small but are extremely effective. Maybe they make a joke about your appearance, your skills, or your decisions. At first, you laugh it off because you love them. And because, honestly, who wants to fight with someone they care about? Then the jokes become more pointed, more personal. Are you sure you can handle that? I don't know why you even try. No one else would put up with you the way I do. And little by little, your confidence starts slipping away. You start believing those words, you start thinking maybe they're right. Maybe you are not good enough. It's not just about words. It's the energy behind them. The way a narcissist looks at you, the way they pause just long enough to make you feel small. It's in the way they control conversations so that every achievement you try to share gets minimized or they make it about them. You might start to avoid sharing your wins, your dreams, your talents, because you know the response will be a critique or a dismissive comment, and every time that happens, a little piece of your confidence dies. Sometimes, a narcissist will even pretend to support you while secretly undermining you. They'll give you advice that sounds caring, but is actually designed to make you question yourself. I think maybe you shouldn't do that, it's too risky. Or, are you sure you're ready for this? I just don't want you to fail. And what happens? You start hesitating, doubting your abilities, fearing your own instincts, slowly. They are shaping you into someone who relies on their approval for every decision, someone who can no longer trust themselves without asking for permission. That's the trap. That's how they drain your confidence while making it feel like it's your own fault. Here's the real kicker. Narcissists are experts at making you feel like the problem lies within you, never with them. They'll tell you it's your insecurity, your overreaction, your sensitivity. They'll make you apologize for things you didn't even do. And over time, your self-esteem doesn't just drop, it erodes completely. You start thinking, maybe I really am this fragile. Maybe I am not capable. Maybe I don't deserve better. And that's exactly what they want. Because a confident, self-assured person is hard to control. A person with broken confidence, they're easy to manipulate, easy to dominate, and easy to bend to their will. But listen, let me be very clear. Your confidence is not theirs to take. You can reclaim it. You have to remind yourself every day of who you are, what you're capable of, and what you deserve. Every small step, every tiny victory, every moment you trust yourself instead of their words is a step back toward freedom. Because the truth is, your confidence was never theirs to begin with. It belongs to you. And no narcissist can take it from you unless you let them. Once you start believing in yourself again, the power they held over you starts slipping away and your life begins to feel like yours once more. 3, they isolate you from your support system. Your friends become a bad influence. Your family becomes too involved. You become dependent on them. And that's exactly what they want control. Let me break this down for you. And I want you to pay close attention because this is where a lot of people get caught up without even realizing it. One of the most dangerous things a narcissistic partner does is isolate you from the people who love you, the very people who could see what's happening before you do. They don't come at you with a big sign that says, I'm going to cut you off from everyone you care about. No, they do it quietly with little comments and subtle manipulations. And before you know it, you're standing alone, wondering why the people who used to be your support system feel so distant. It usually starts with little criticisms. Your family is too controlling, or your friends don't really care about you like I do. At first, you might think, okay, maybe they have a point. Maybe my mom or my friends are being judgmental. But the truth is, they're trying to make you feel like anyone outside of the relationship is a threat. Anyone who could give you advice, reality checks, or encouragement, they're dangerous in the eyes of a narcissist. The goal is to make you rely solely on them for validation, support, and guidance. Once you are completely dependent on them, they have full control. This isolation doesn't just happen with family and friends. Sometimes it's social events. Maybe they discourage you from attending parties, family gatherings, or even work events. Why do you need to go there? They ask. I don't want you talking to them. You start to cancel plans, stay home, or feel guilty for wanting to maintain your own social life. And every time you choose to stay with them instead of reaching out to your support system, another brick is laid in the wall between you and the people who love you. They know that when you are alone with them, they have more power. They know that without outside perspectives, their words become the only ones you hear. A narcissist also plays the victim in this isolation game. Your friends don't understand me, they say. They're trying to come between us. Suddenly, you feel torn, feeling like loyalty to them means turning your back on your loved ones, and guess what happens? You start cutting people out of your life, thinking you're protecting the relationship, when in reality, you're protecting the narcissist's control over you. The more isolated you are, the easier it is for them to manipulate you, gaslight you, and keep you doubting yourself. Emotional manipulation becomes constant. You start to feel guilty for wanting help or advice. You start thinking that anyone outside the relationship is a threat because the narcissist has told you so. And eventually, your world shrinks. Your circle gets smaller, and your life revolves entirely around this one person. That's when their power is at its strongest. When you can't hear reality from anyone else, you begin to believe their version of the world, their version of who you are, and their version of what you deserve. But here's what you need to understand. Isolation is a tactic, not love. Anyone who truly loves you wants you to have a strong support system. Anyone who tries to cut you off from your people is not acting in your best interest. You were never meant to walk through life alone, and the moment you recognize this manipulation, you start taking your power back. You reconnect with your friends, your family, and anyone who makes you feel seen, supported, and validated. You begin to rebuild the walls they tore down, brick by brick, conversation by conversation, hug by hug. You start remembering what life feels like when you have people in your corner, people who remind you that your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences matter. And once you realize that, you start breaking free. You start living your life again, not the life they tried to trap you in, but the life you deserve. You start trusting yourself, your instincts, and the people who have always loved you. Isolation may have been their weapon, but it can't hold you if you choose to reconnect and reclaim your world. 4, everything becomes your fault. A narcissist will turn themselves into the victim every single time. They cheat, somehow it's your fault. They lie, somehow you made them do it. You apologize even when you've done nothing wrong. That's emotional manipulation and it destroys your mental health. Let me tell you something, and I need you to really hear me, because this is where a lot of people get caught in the trap of a narcissistic relationship without even realizing it. One of the most insidious ways a narcissist controls you is by making everything your fault. And I don't mean the occasional disagreement or small mistake. I'm talking about a pattern, a constant manipulation that wears you down mentally and emotionally. It's the kind of behavior that makes you second guess yourself, apologize for things you didn't do, and eventually start believing that no matter what happens, it's always your responsibility to fix it. A narcissist is a master at shifting blame. If they do something wrong, if they hurt your feelings, if they make a selfish choice somehow, magically, you are the one at fault. They will twist reality to make it seem like your reaction caused the problem. If you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have gotten upset, they say. You're too sensitive, or you're making a big deal out of nothing. And because they are persistent, because they are convincing, because they mix charm with manipulation, you start to believe them. You start to apologize, even when you know deep down you did nothing wrong. And every time you do, it chips away at your mental strength. It doesn't stop there. They use guilt as a weapon. After all I've done for you, you're going to act like this, they say, making you feel like an ungrateful monster for even expressing your feelings. You feel trapped because the more you try to defend yourself, the more they twist your words against you. And before you know it, you're walking on eggshells all the time, afraid to say anything that might trigger their wrath or make you the bad person. That fear is exactly what they want. It keeps you compliant, cautious, and constantly questioning yourself. A narcissist will even escalate this blame shifting with others, making you feel isolated. They'll tell stories or subtly imply that you're the problem to friends, family, or coworkers. And if anyone tries to offer support, the narcissist can twist the narrative so you feel like you're exaggerating or misunderstanding the situation. You start thinking, maybe I am overreacting, or maybe I am the problem. And that's exactly how they gain control. They want you doubting your own reality, doubting your own morality, and doubting your own sanity. The mental exhaustion from this constant blame is real. You carry a weight that isn't yours to carry, and it drags you down over time. Decisions that once seemed simple now feel impossible because you're afraid of making another mistake that will somehow become your fault. Your confidence erodes, your self-esteem drops, and your sense of self-worth takes a hit every single day. And yet, the narcissist continues to act like they're the victim, never once taking responsibility for their own behavior. But here's the truth you need to hold on to. It's not your fault. None of it. Their actions, their decisions, their manipulations, those are theirs alone. You don't have to carry the blame for someone else's toxic behavior. The moment you start recognizing the pattern, the moment you see how they twist reality to make you feel guilty, that's the moment you start reclaiming your power. You start setting boundaries. You start speaking your truth. You stop apologizing for things that aren't your responsibility. You remind yourself every day that you are not the villain in someone else's story. And when you truly internalize that, when you stop accepting blame that doesn't belong to you, you begin to heal. You regain the strength and clarity that they tried to take from you. You stop walking on eggshells, stop doubting yourself, and start living life with the confidence and peace that you were meant to have all along. You take back control over your emotions, your mind, and your life. Because no one, and I mean no one, has the right to make you feel guilty for existing and being human. 5, they love bomb you, then tear you down again. They'll treat you like royalty today and like an inconvenience tomorrow. You get stuck in a cycle, love, confusion, hurt, repeat. That emotional roller coaster is how they keep you hooked. Let me tell you something, and I need you to pay attention because this is one of the most confusing and destructive patterns in a narcissistic relationship. A narcissist will love bomb you. And when I say love bomb, I mean they overwhelm you with affection, attention, and flattery like it's Christmas morning every day. At first, it feels amazing. You feel special, wanted, and like you finally met the person who truly sees you. They compliment you, they promise the world, they make you feel like you're the only person who matters. And you fall in love hard. But here's the catch, this is not real love. This is a carefully calculated strategy to hook you, to make you dependent, and to make you believe you can't live without them. After the love bombing, the teardown begins. The compliments disappear. the attention vanishes. Suddenly, the same person who was praising you, buying you gifts, and making you feel like a queen or king is cold, critical, and distant. They might ignore your messages, dismiss your feelings, or criticize you for things that never mattered before. It's confusing and it's deliberate. They want you questioning yourself. Did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Am I not enough? And every time they tear you down, the memory of the love bomb keeps you hooked. You start thinking, maybe if I just do better, maybe if I just try harder, maybe I can get that love back. And that's the cycle. They create love, confusion, hurt, and then repeat. This cycle of extreme highs and lows plays tricks on your brain. It creates emotional addiction. You start craving the love bomb, the affection, the validation. And when it's gone, you feel withdrawal. You become obsessed with getting back to the good times, and you start bending over backward to meet their expectations, even when those expectations are unreasonable or impossible. You're constantly walking on eggshells, hoping to trigger the next wave of love and attention while avoiding the next wave of criticism and coldness. And all the while, they are watching, controlling, manipulating, and enjoying the power they have over you. The teardowns are often paired with gaslighting. They'll make you doubt yourself, your emotions, and your memory. You're imagining things, they say. I never said that. You're too sensitive. And you start believing it because why wouldn't you? After all, you just experienced a high of their love bomb, so it must be true that you're the problem. You begin to feel like you're trapped in a cycle with no escape, like you are powerless to fix it. And that hopelessness feeds their control even more. But here's what you need to understand. The love bomb isn't love, and the teardown isn't justified. It's a tactic. It's a strategy to make you dependent on their validation and approval. And when you finally realize that, when you see the pattern for what it really is, you take the first step toward freedom. You stop chasing the highs and fearing the lows. You start trusting your own feelings instead of their manipulation. You begin to understand that your worth does not depend on someone's inconsistent behavior. And once you reclaim that perspective, the cycle loses its power. You stop letting their affection or their criticism dictate how you feel about yourself. You regain your emotional independence, your confidence, and your peace of mind. You start seeing their behavior for what it is, a tool for control, not a measure of your value. And that realization is powerful. It's freeing. It's the moment when you begin to rebuild yourself stronger and wiser and refuse to let anyone, no matter how charming or manipulative, control your emotions again. You learn that real love doesn't come with conditions, confusion, or control. It comes with respect, consistency, and genuine care. And that's exactly what you deserve.